What's up guys, it's Aaronitmar, and today we are finally going to be doing a deep dive on the Hiro's moveset, the recently revealed rep from the Dragon Quest franchise. This video is definitely a little bit late, but I wanted to ensure that I made sure I at least kind of knew what I was talking about, since I've never played a Dragon Quest game, so I had a ton of catching up to do. So let's go ahead and jump into this incredibly unique anime sword fighter. So in the very first clip, we open with an upward slash with his sword. Now this is most likely his up tilt rather than an up smash. It seems a bit too fast for a smash attack, and the amount of knockback done doesn't really seem like it fits a smash attack either, so that's why I'm pretty sure it's his up tilt. Following that clip is a 3-hit jab attack. Now just like with Banjo, this doesn't necessarily cancel out the possibility that Hiro has a flurry attack. This move only confirms that he does have a 3-hit jab attack. However, if I were to take a guess, he probably doesn't have a flurry attack that's based on his sword. Most sword fighters in Smash Ultimate don't have a flurry attack. I can only think of like Toon Link, Young Link, and maybe Mii Sword Fighter that have flurry attacks. The others don't have them based on their swords, but if they have something else like Robin's magic, then they can have a flurry attack. But I would guess that Hiro probably won't have one, and if he did, it would probably be based on magic rather than his actual sword. The next clip we see is probably the ending animation of his roll back. We either just missed the invincibility frames, or the trailer simply uses debug mode to hide the white flash simply to make the video look better. He then uses what's probably a side special, launching out a fireball. In Dragon Quest, this spell is called Friz, and in the following clip we can see Hiro charge it up into Kafrizzle, a stronger form which traps the opponent briefly rather than just knocking them back. Now Kafrizzle looks huge, so I expect it to take a long time to charge up to get to that form, and there probably is going to be like a second stage, so it'll be basic, second stage, third stage, but I don't know. All I know is we know there are 2 forms. Following that, we see a running sword swipe, which is probably his dash attack. This looks almost exactly like Link's dash attack, and so it probably functions exactly the same way. After that, we see Hiro presumably back air Piranha Plant. However, at the start of this clip, Hiro begins by facing to the right, but after he performs the back air, we see him land and he's facing the left, which shows us that back air automatically turns Hiro around after one use. This is similar to Marth, Lucina, or even Jigglypuff's back airs, most likely in an attempt to reduce the spamming of this move. The next clip is just a funny one of Hiro riding on Go-Goat, but we can see that he holds his shield out while crouching and throughout the next couple of clips by just standing still. The shield functions exactly like the 3 Link's shields, and will passively block projectiles coming from that direction if Hiro is in his idle pose. They highlight this by having Bowser use a fire flower against Hiro, whose shield just simply eats the entire attack. The second spell that we see Hiro use is Kaswoosh, a wind attack that creates tornadoes that can trap opponents while Hiro launches himself upwards. This is one of Hiro's up specials, as Hiro launches a tremendous distance to recover back onto the stage. But you'll notice I said one of his up specials, and we'll get to that in a minute. A third spell is seen right after this, Zap, which is a bolt of lightning that Hiro shoots out of the end of his sword. This move can also be charged up into Zapple, which is another stronger variant of this move. Next is presumably one of his taunts, immediately followed by a forward smash. The forward smash looks very similar to Ganondorf's or Ike's, and it is incredibly strong. After the Luminary has been beat up for a good amount, the trailer reveals that the 3 other Dragon Quest protagonists will be joining him, and we see them all using a variety of sword moves, though these are all moves that have been shown previously in the trailer. There is one exception to this, and that is the move that Erdrick uses, which is his Shield Bash and then Sword Slash seemingly multi-hit move. This has been assumed to be his forward tilt, which I would be inclined to agree with, as we've already seen Hiro's forward smash. This move also sort of has the tempo of a 2-input forward tilt. My guess is that you would press the attack button once for the Shield Bash, and then you can press it again to use the Sword Slash, or you can not press it and then simply do nothing. That's personally just a gut feeling that I have based on the timing of the move shown in the clip. We then see the big reveal that his moveset involves a spell selection and mana system, as well as a huge range of selectable spells. Now at first I thought this was just simply clever editing for the trailer, but seeing Erdrick using a thinking pose while the spells are being selected, as well as the specific zoom in on the menu itself, leads me to believe that this is genuinely a part of his moveset. So odds are each one of his special moves are going to have at least one extra different variant that can be chosen from this mana magic menu. Erdrick then uses Snooze, a move which obviously sends out a bubble that will cause the opponent to sleep. We also see Sizzle and Psych Up in the menu, but we have never actually seen them in use in the trailer, so there's even more to this character that we don't know about with his special moves. Bounce is another spell which reflects all sorts of projectiles, and I can already hear you groaning about another character having another reflect. We can see it reflect Robin's Arc Thunder, Dark Samus's Charge Shot, and an off-screen Simon or Richter's Axe, which Villager then pockets. This all happens in what we can assume is a single use of the spell, which is a really considerable amount of time to be reflecting. I guess Fox has something similar, but I'd expect with Hiro that you're either going to be stuck in the move for the entire duration, or that you can choose to end it whenever you want, but it has a gradual and constant MP draw. So you can't actually hold it forever because you'll eventually run out of mana or MP or whatever they're going to call it. Next is Crackle Slash, a slash that deals freezing damage to the opponent. This move looks interesting as it doesn't really look like a typical special move. Like, it almost looks like one of his normal moves is being given the effect of having freezing damage. So I wouldn't be able to guess which special move this is if it is one, or it could be a special spell that literally gives you some freezing damage for a certain amount of time on all of your normal moves. Following that is Kuk Lang, a move that turns Hiro entirely to metal and reducing all knockback. This is all that we know of the move right now, but if I were going to guess, I would say that Hiro can be grabbed out of it and he can also take damage from all of the moves. He simply gains armor to prevent being sent flying. It'll probably be dangerous to use this move as it has a lot of end lag seemingly, and the opponent could simply wait and attack a second time. Next up is Zoom, another recovery spell which launches Hiro upwards. This move at first glance looks very similar to Kaswoosh, the one we saw earlier, but the animations are a bit different, and Hiro seems to cover even further distance with Zoom than he does with Kaswoosh. If you also slow down the footage, you can tell that at the bottom there aren't any tornadoes, so we can tell that this is a different move from Kaswoosh. Not to mention the fact that they literally tell us it's called Zoom. After this is Kamikaze, which as the name suggests has Hiro self-destruct and cause massive knockback to any opponents around him. This will be a really high-risk, high-reward move because Hiro is pretty much guaranteed to die from the move, while opponents hit by it might not. Hiro literally explodes and instantly loses his stocks, but we can see the other enemies are sent flying. It could definitely be a move that you use if you're a stock up, kind of like Bowser's Side or Ganon's Side. Also, can I say that it's very weird that the literal word for a Japanese suicide bomber from World War II is now officially in Smash? That's just incredibly weird. I mean, I know it's not literally the word, it's kind of a derivation of the word, but it acts and is still based on the exact same thing. So I don't know, that's just really weird to me. We also very briefly see the Luminary perform the end of a leg sweep, which pops Snake up into a combo for Erdrick. This is most likely down tilt, which is similar to Cloud's and has him slide. In this same clip, we also see Erdrick perform an up smash, which is probably most similar to Lucina's, because while Marth's, Roy's, and Crom's are all similar as well, Marth's has the tipper, and Roy's and Crom's both have multi-hit attributes. At the same time, the Luminary performs some kind of aerial, and I'm having a hard time deciding if this is a neutral air or a forward air. Personally, I'm leaning toward forward air, but maybe neutral air seems possible if it's like a quickly ended neutral air. It reminds me of Ike's neutral air, but like if you were to fast fall and auto-cancel the move. But it doesn't really seem to have a second hitbox even beginning, and the Luminary hangs out in the air for quite a bit, so I'm leaning towards forward air. And lastly, we have Hiro's final smash, which right now is presumed to be Giga Slash. Whichever hero is being played is joined by the 7 other Dragon Quest protagonists who are not playable, charging up the hero's sword with bolts of electricity before he performs his finishing blow. And that is the entire move list that we can possibly know about simply based on this trailer. I said it in my last video, but calling the Luminary simply an anime sword fighter really does him kind of a disservice, and it doesn't really summarize what the character is about. Like, yeah, he's an anime character, and yeah, he uses a sword, but he also has a seemingly very complex magic system, and he seems far more like Robin than he does like Marth, so I don't know. The complaints for he's simply a sword fighter really just don't work for me. They don't make sense. But please let me know down in the comments what you think of this analysis, what you think of Hiro's moveset, and what do you think of him as a character overall. Whether it's the 4 alternates concept, or the moveset, or just Dragon Quest being in Smash in the first place. I'd love to know anything and everything you have to say about Hiro down in the comments below. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button. If you are new, be sure to subscribe. I will see you guys next time. Peace out, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day.